Okay, so I decided to make a video in my car again. I look freaking horrible because I sleep in my car now, live in my car, and I didn't do makeup or anything this morning, and you can see it's all like half coming off and everything. But I went to this 3 meetups yesterday. I wanted to talk about that. The first one was in the morning, and I wanted to talk about some synchronicities related to those things. And I have these things all the time, but it's always like stories going on, nested inside of stories, and I feel like life is that way, so I just want to talk about this stuff. So the first one I went to was a running meetup group, like the Valley Runners, and we got into a surprisingly deep philosophical conversation about things, and about I used to work at a group home for disturbed adolescents and stuff, and we were talking about things related to the way people look at stuff and how the world is the way you view it. Like, the world isn't the way you think it is, the world is the way you think. I think that's the code, unless I'm screwing it up. But anyway, she told me something that was really cool, because I was talking about how my job isn't to like save every single person. She said one of her friends told her that it's like being a lighthouse, where the lighthouse does not go out to save every single ship, and it really can't. It's not its job. But if a ship is willing and looking out for what the lighthouse has to offer, then the lighthouse, of course, is going to save it and everyone on board. So that was really helpful and cool. She was talking about lighthouses and stuff. And then I went to the writing group next, which was right after it at like 10:30 at this bookstore. Screenwriting group, like the Screenwriting Tribe. The guy who runs it wrote a book called the Screenwriting Tribe, which is really cool. So I just wanted to, I've been interested in doing screenplays too, and I'm writing a science fiction book that could be adapted to one, so I just definitely wanted to see what's going on with how it looked, what people critiqued, what they thought was good or bad in scripts and stuff. So it's very helpful. But one of the scripts we read there was, this lady wrote one. I don't want to give too much of it away, because obviously we're not supposed to talk about it if they're in the middle of writing it, but there was like a serial killer in a Volkswagen. It just reminded me that I read it one time that Ted Bundy had driven a Volkswagen. I thought how diabolical that was, because he was trying to get people to think that he needed help and wasn't like a bad person, and so he's like driving this Volkswagen and luring women and stuff. It was like so freaking horrible. So anyway, she's wrote this thing, and it was in a gray Volkswagen, and I was like, oh shit, I just hate that, because I used to drive a Volkswagen, and it was just ridiculous. So I just liked how curvy it was. It looked, probably because it looked more feminine. So, I left, and I'm driving, and the first thing that happens is I get on the interstate, 210 or I-5. I don't even know the numbers out here, because I just moved out here, but got behind a silver Volkswagen, like a gray Volkswagen, and I tried to get out of my lane, and then it pulled in another lane. I was stuck. I had to get behind it. I was like, what the fuck, I was like, okay, calm down, And then later that day, I'm driving. I was driving to A Course in Miracles, where they read the Course in Miracles book, which I haven't read yet, but people mention it in videos and stuff. I looked at it online. I didn't know which version to get and everything, so I thought I'd go to this group. It sounded interesting. So on the way there, I was almost there, and all of a sudden, I'm going along. I was going kind of fast. I wanted to make sure I was on time. The way it was, I was going to be 5 minutes early. If I hit any traffic, I'd be in trouble, because there's a lot of traffic out here. So I'm going fast, and I go past this car, and I'm like, what the hell? And it says something about like a 63 something on its plate. Love bugs. And it was a dragster driving on the interstate with like a spoiler, but it was a Volkswagen Beetle dragster with the 53 and the stripes on it, like the love bug. Like, you could hear the engine, like, shook the car as I went by. It was so powerful, it's like, and when I saw that, it was like, oh my God, boy, did that destroy the gray Volkswagen thing. You know what I mean? It was like, and that, to me, was so important, because it was like, the universe will speak to you about what's inside of you. And sometimes people are so scared that they build a wall to keep the scary things out. And so if you just kept getting scared and just put that out of your mind, like, oh shit, Instead, just relax. When you have a bad thought, you think through it, right? Just let it go. Let it go. Be calm, zen. Know what's in your heart. And if you just love and emanate love, you can destroy all the scary things in your life. But it involves taking down the walls and being vulnerable, continuing to drive, continuing to go out there and go do the things that are kind of scary, like to go to a new group all of a sudden. I've been going to all these new groups around town and stuff, but it's kind of like skydiving a little bit. And so I went there, and it turned out to be a beautiful, wonderful experience. And I was going to say, when I was at the writing group, the guy who's running it said his favorite movie was The Lighthouse. And like an hour before, we just had talked about how that was a really cool metaphor. I said, I'm going to use that. I want to remember it. And then I get there, and the guy's talking about Lighthouse. So it's funny how these things happen. When you overcome your fears and you just go out there and do the things you feel like you need to do, that's when the magic happens. So I just wanted to say that in this. And the magic doesn't happen just due to the very cool hair coloring, cool Melanie Martinez K-12 t-shirt I've got, which I love, and this Sailor Moon transformation medallion, which I love because, I transformed, transgender. But anyway, I just want to share that, and I want to figure out how to put pictures on a video. I'll try to edit it in there to show you the gray, because I took a picture. I was like, oh crap, grab my phone and grab a quick picture. I don't know how clear it's going to be, of both the gray Volkswagen and then this like hot rod older 1963 Volkswagen, which was extremely rare. I'd never seen anything like it since I've been down here. So, and same thing with that gray Volkswagen. I'd never seen a gray one. I've seen some white ones, and a convertible white one. I've seen like 3 or 4 driving around. But so yeah, I'm gonna put those pictures on there, and then I'll put this video up. I'm gonna start doing videos in my car, because I live in my car. So there.